This is the book I'm referencing that I read called Phineas Taylor Barnum, but on the side of it, it says P.T. Barnum, thank you, toast, for doing whatever this is. So here's the side, P.T. Barnum, and these are the three authors of the book. Now, this book looks really thick because it includes a lot of pictures. A lot. There she is again. And the authors of this book have a special relationship to these photographs because their grandfather or great-grandfather was a man named Frederick Hill Meserve. Meserve was a photographer most known for his photographs of Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War. And at the turn of the 19th century, Meserve started to have a special interest in acquiring the Barnum negatives. Most of these negatives were taken by a man named Matthew Brady, who had his photography studio across the street from Barnum's original museum. Even though that was only for a short period of time, and Barnum, as I've discussed, lost his museum several times, Barnum still used him for all his photography needs. But the authors go into detail about how during the time that Meserve had this special interest in Barnum, photographs weren't that prized. They weren't considered very important. So Meserve knew that these Barnum negatives had to exist somewhere, but that they were probably somewhere very unremarkable. And he was right. In 1902, Meserve discovered in a New Jersey warehouse 15,000 original Matthew Brady negatives. Not only did Meserve discover this treasure trove, but he also went to great lengths to identify everyone who was in these photographs. He reached far and wide to see anyone who was still alive who was associated with Barnum when these negatives were taken. And one of the most helpful people in piecing a lot of this information together was actually Charles Stratton's widow, Lavinia Warren Stratton. Lavinia had remarried a man named Count Primo Magri, but she still remembered all of her time with Charles very fondly, and she intimately knew many people who Barnum employed. Now, this work did not stop with Meserve. His daughter actually went on to do most of the archival research. Her name was Dorothy Kuhnhart, and she went on to be a very successful children's book author. She wrote Now Open the Box, which is considered a classic, but I had never seen it or heard of it, admittedly. So one of the authors of this book, Philip B. Kuhnhart Jr., took the work that his mother and his grandfather did, and then had two of his own sons, Philip III and Peter. So this book spans 4 generations of family archival research. And for that reason, I think it is worth purchasing, even though it's a pretty thick book. I couldn't even remember where I acquired it or when I acquired it, but something about it was catching my eye on my bookshelf, so I decided to take a look, and it was a great read.